Today I announced the first wide-ranging review of the setting of monetary policy and the Reserve Bank since the current arrangements were instituted in the 1990s. This is an important opportunity to get the ball rolling on the Reserve Bank review that the country desperately needs to make sure that the setting of monetary policy is done most effectively into the future as well. The Reserve Bank is a crucial economic institution which has served Australia well for more than 6 decades in its current form. Now, we are facing together a complex combination of very difficult economic conditions in the near term, as well as a range of longer-term economic challenges as well. And so this is our opportunity to ensure that the monetary policy framework is the best it can be to make the right calls in the interests of the Australian people and their economy. Now, this review will consider the RBA's objectives, mandate, the interaction between monetary, fiscal and macroprudential policy, its governance, culture, operations and more. And today I am releasing the terms of reference for the review as well. This is not about revolutionising monetary policy in Australia. It's about reviewing it and then refining it and reforming it. That's my objective. And I go into this review with an open mind, a genuinely open mind, about the best combination of institutional arrangements for the Reserve Bank so that we have the world's best central bank, relying and adapting and adopting world's best practice, learning from the past but focused on the future. I want this to be a forward-looking review, all about the best combination of arrangements into the future. I don't want it to be an exercise in pot shots or second guessing. I don't want it to be exclusively focused on a backward-looking, blame-shifting exercise. I want it to genuinely be about how do we have the world's best central bank into the future, and how do we make sure that the institutional and other arrangements are set up as well as they can be to ensure that the right decisions, sometimes difficult decisions, are taken in the future in the interests of Australians and their economy. Now, I've asked a panel of 3 experts from Australia and overseas to conduct this review. They are independent of the Reserve Bank. They are outside of the Treasury Department. They will lead the review in an independent way and they will report directly to me as Treasurer and to the government. And that is deliberate. I welcome the interest that has been shown from a number of quarters in a review that is genuinely independent, which has an international component and which has absolutely first-class people leading the panel. I am absolutely delighted that we got the panel that we got. They were my first 3 choices and I'm very grateful, very appreciative to them for agreeing to do what will be a pretty challenging task. So the 3 members of the panel are Carolyn Wilkins, who's an external member of the Financial Policy Committee of the Bank of England, but also the former Senior Deputy Governor to the Bank of Canada. We've got Professor Renee Fry-McKibben, who is one of Australia's leading macroeconomists. She's the Interim Director of the Crawford School of Public Policy at the ANU, and I'm delighted that Renee could join the panel as well. And then rounding out the 3 on the panel is Dr. Gordon de Brouwer. He, as you know, is an eminent Australian economist, currently Secretary for Public Sector Reform. He's got 35 years of experience, primarily in economic portfolios. Also at the RBA, he's been a Secretary of the Department, and I'm absolutely delighted that Gordon could be part of the panel as well. So Carolyn Wilkins, Renee Fry-McKibben and Gordon de Brouwer are the 3 that we've asked to undertake this review, and we're very grateful that they have agreed. The panel will be supported by a secretariat within Treasury with the capacity to second staff from other parts of our economic institutions. The review will produce a final report with recommendations to government by March 2023. Our earlier thinking was that it would be later in the year. We are We do understand that that's a relatively quick review, but still gives the panellists time to consult widely with experts and other interested parties, former members of the board, former governors, academics and others here and around the world. It gives them ample time to do that consultation and to come forward with a considered set of recommendations for the government to take forward from March 2023. The terms of reference are on the website, and there'll be an opportunity for people to feed in and make submissions via that channel as well. Now, before I take your questions, I also wanted to announce an extension of an appointment to the Reserve Bank Board. Mark Barnaba, AM, has agreed to serve another year on the Reserve Bank Board at my request. Mr Barnaba's current 5-year term as a part-time member on the board is due to expire on the 30th of August this year. We will now extend his term by a year, taking his tenure beyond the finalisation of the review into the RBA that I've just announced. Now, Mark, as many of you know, is a really accomplished business leader, corporate advisor and non-executive director. He's been a well-respected and well-regarded, valued member of the board since August 2017. And I really wanted to thank Mark for agreeing to serve for another year, but also for his the contribution that he intends to make to some of this thinking that we need to do about the future of the Reserve Bank as well. I know that Mark's been a great contributor to the discussions of the board. I'm really happy that he's agreed to serve for another year, and I thank him for being prepared to do that. Over to you.